Cleveland woke up to a headline nobody saw coming. Reports claim the New Orleans Saints slid a $21 million golden ticket across the table for Shedeur Sanders. Rumors suggest it wasn't just interest. It was a full-court press, value, picks, and a promise to fast-track him as the face of their franchise. For a city that's been gripping the steering wheel since 1964, it felt like a drive-by at dawn. Phones lit up, timelines melted, and every hallway in Berea, if whispers are true, turned into a pressure cooker. Here's the twist. The number is loud, the mechanics are murky. NFL trades don't hand players briefcases of cash. They move picks, cap space, and future deals. So if the Saints really pushed a package, it likely blends compensation with a path to an extension. Flashy? Absolutely. Impossible? Not necessarily. And that's why this rumor detonated like it did, because the scenario fits both need and narrative. Meanwhile, Cleveland's message stayed careful. Kevin Stefanski leaned on phrases like hour by hour while confirming Sanders as QB2. Translation to fans, hedging. To the locker room, mixed signals. To rival teams, opportunity. If the rookie with the live arm is truly healthy and still sitting, what's the plan? What's the ceiling? And what's the point of a deadline if you never decide? This isn't just about a trade. It's about identity. The Saints are painted as the smooth operators. No leaks, no panic, just a clean bet on a quarterback whose college tape screams timing and precision. The Browns look stuck between pride and progress, juggling optics, politics, and a rookie window that shrinks by the hour. Keep Shedeur, and you admit he should have played sooner. Move him, and you risk watching him light up the NFC while your offense stays flat. Do nothing, and the noise becomes your brand. We're going to split rumor from reality, map what a real deal would look like, and show how this deadline could rewrite more than a depth chart. Because whether he stays or goes, this is the moment that says what Cleveland really believes in. Comfort or courage? The number did its job. 21 million ricocheted across timelines and made everyone stop scrolling. Reports claim the Saints floated a headline-grabbing figure to pry Shedeur Sanders from Cleveland. Rumors suggest it wasn't just curiosity, it was intent, picks, value, and a path to make him their future centerpiece. Even if the mechanics are messy, the message was clean. New Orleans is willing to pay for potential right now. Here's the reality check. NFL trades don't hand players a briefcase of cash. They move draft capital, assume salary, restructure contracts, and set up extensions after a deal. So that $21 million likely represents projected guarantees in a near-term extension, cap absorption, or a package value estimate, not a wire transfer. Flash sells the headline. Structure makes it real. Why would the Saints swing? Analysis says timing and fit. If you believe Sanders' intermediate accuracy, play-action rhythm, and pocket poise translate, pairing him with a stable organization and a controlled environment makes sense. A dome, a defined scheme, and a coaching staff that values timing routes. On paper, it tracks. At a race to secure a long-term answer before the market reshuffles, and the aggression aligns with incentive. For Cleveland, the shockwave forced an uncomfortable calculation. Hold and play him. Admit he should have been on the field sooner. Hold and still sit him. Watch his value stagnate while the rookie window burns. Trade him now. Risk watching a potential franchise guy explode somewhere else. None of those outcomes are painless. Only one provides immediate certainty, and that's why the figure hit so hard. It wasn't just money. It was leverage, urgency, and a dare wrapped into one number. Fans heard $21 million and saw a franchise at a crossroads. Front offices heard it and saw negotiation tactics, conditional picks, and future cap math. Players heard it and wondered what the next snap would look like, and who would take it. If the offer was designed to create pressure, it worked. The shockwave reached Berea fast. The question is, what the building did with it. Panic or process? By mid-morning, the building felt hot, even if officially nothing had changed. Rumors suggest phones lit up, coaches huddled, and a long meeting blocked out half the day. Was it panic? Or the kind of controlled scramble that front offices call process? Depends on who you ask. Publicly, Kevin Stefanski kept it clinical, hour by hour, limited, we'll see. He also confirmed Shedeur as QB2. Small sentence, big signal. Inside, it's been said the staff ran parallel tracks. Track 1. What does activation look like if he stays? That meant install tweaks, a small under-center play-action package, and contingency triggers if the starter stalls. Track 2. What's the line where you listen to New Orleans? Pro scouting grades, cap modeling, and the confidence read on how quickly Shedeur's timing translates if handed the keys elsewhere. Whispers say the room wasn't monolithic. One camp pushed to play him soon and end the noise. Another argued for status quo through the deadline. Protect the floor, revisit later. A third floated the poker move. Hear the Saints out. Price the market, and either extract max value or spook them into overpaying. None of this is confirmed. It's how these weeks usually look when a rookie's timeline collides with a rumor bomb. Beat reporters watch the tells. First team rep distribution, Saturday activations, practice squad elevations at QB or running back. Those are the breadcrumbs before a switch or a trade. Meanwhile, PR did what PR does. Phrases about trusting the process and evaluating all options. Translation in fan speak. Something's up. We're not saying what. Here's the uncomfortable truth. Activation isn't adoption. You can dress a quarterback and still dodge a decision. That's why this week felt like a referendum on intent. If the Browns lean into either way, Cleveland isn't just weighing a trade, it's weighing identity, risk appetite, development philosophy, and who they want to be before the window closes. Next question isn't about Cleveland though, it's about New Orleans. Why push this hard, this fast? Contenders don't chase headlines, they chase fit. And rumors suggest the Saints see Shedeur Sanders as a scheme match, not just a splash. Think about their profile. Controlled, rhythm-based passing, timing routes that punish soft spots, and a dome that rewards precision. On paper, that's Shedeur's lane. Clean feet, intermediate accuracy, play-action discipline, and the courage to drive the 12 to 18-yard window before it closes. Reports claim New Orleans has been hunting for a long-term plan at quarterback without detonating the roster. A rookie-scale passer with a high processing ceiling checks every box. It preserves cap flexibility, keeps the defense funded, and lets the offense evolve without living in chaos. Add a core of route winners who thrive on timing, and the logic gets loud. Why now? 2 reasons: market and momentum. The trade deadline compresses leverage. Wait until the offseason, and you invite a bidding war with half the league reshuffling boards. Move now, and you set the price before the crowd shows up. There's also the locker room effect. A decisive swing signals belief. It tells veterans the front office isn't punting the window while the defense plays at a playoff level. There's another angle, whispered but logical: stability. A dome mitigates weather variance. A structured system simplifies the rookie's read set. A coaching staff committed to repetition over reinvention shortens the learning curve. If you believe Shedeur's strengths are timing and anticipation, you give him an ecosystem that amplifies those traits day one. This isn't a save us move, it's a raise our floor and ceiling move. You don't need hero ball. You need a distributor who can hit layered concepts, run boots, and punish safeties who bite. If the Saints truly pushed a package, it's not because of hype. It's because their offense wants a point guard who can throw people open. And they think he's that guy. But belief meets bureaucracy. Flashy numbers don't finalize trades. Structures do. Picks, proration, and timelines decide who blinks. Let's strip the headline and talk mechanics. NFL teams don't slide briefcases of cash to players in a trade. They swap picks, move salaries, and set up future guarantees. If the $21 million rumor is real, It likely means one of three things: projected guarantees in a near-term extension, cap absorption via restructure, ... or a media-friendly estimate of the total package value, not a wire transfer. Here's the clean version of how this would work. Contract math. The Saints would inherit Shedeur Sanders' remaining rookie base salaries. Any signing bonus already paid stays on Cleveland's books as dead money. New Orleans could then negotiate an extension with Cleveland's permission pre-trade, or run the rookie deal this year and extend later. Compensation. Realistic frameworks look like a day 2 pick plus a conditional sweetener. Think 2026 second rounder plus a 2027 conditional that escalates third to second if Sanders hits 60 to 70% snaps, starts X games, or makes the playoffs. Protections cut the other way if he barely plays due to injury or plan changes. Cap gymnastics. Cleveland can convert salary to bonus before the trade to eat cap and boost return, but they can't send straight cash considerations. New Orleans can use void years to flatten early cap hits if an extension is part of the deal. Deadline moves are tight, but restructures get done in hours when both sides are motivated. Why would Cleveland demand an overpay? Because trading a rookie QB with multiple cheap years left isn't just a football decision. It's a reputational hit. You pay a rookie window tax to compensate the seller for giving up cost-controlled upside and absorbing the PR blast. If the offer doesn't clear that bar, you don't even pick up the pen. What could stall it? Ownership reluctance, a coaching staff arguing for a post-deadline evaluation window, or simple timing. You need medicals, league office approval, and some install plan. Bottom line, the structure is doable. The price is the question. If the Saints truly pushed a package, it's living in a narrow corridor where value, timing, and optics all line up. While the front office crunches numbers, the locker room reads the tea leaves, and that's where the pressure gets personal. You can measure a quarterback debate without hearing a word. Watch the eyes in meetings. It's been said, the Browns room feels the tug, even if nobody says it out loud. Linemen tend to prefer rhythm and predictability, quicker calls, clear protections, fewer deep holds. That keeps hits down and Mondays survivable. Receivers crave air yards and leverage wins. They see safeties sitting on the sticks and wonder why the offense isn't forcing them to flip their hips. The defense wants oxygen, points, longer drives, fewer jogbacks after 3 and outs. Rumors suggest group chats spike when trade buzz hits. Guys text highlights, compare cut-ups, and ask the only question that matters: are we getting better this week? Reports claim veterans respect the current starter's command and cadence. They also notice Shedeur Sanders' huddle poise and timing on intermediate routes. That's not a split. It's a preference for a plan. Captains don't campaign. They push for clarity. Defined criteria call the room. If the standard is transparent, X empty drives, Y third and long failures, no explosives by halftime, then a change isn't drama. It's process. That's why, per whispers, a controlled Sanders package has appeal. Under center play action, boots, glance shots from heavier looks, plus 1 tempo series to blunt the rush. You collect answers without turning Sunday into a referendum. But indecision has a cost. Players can handle aggressive choices if they're consistent. What erodes trust is drift, activation without adoption, press conference caution that never converts to action, and a weekly hour-by-hour that feels like stalling. When that happens, belief starts to migrate, from the plan to the personalities executing it. The Saints rumor poured fuel on all of this. If another franchise sees stall potential in your backup, the home locker room wonders why the evaluation looks different in-house. That's human. It's also why the next move needs to be owned, not outsourced to phrasing. Because the pressure here isn't just emotional, it's economic. Development has a clock, and every snap you delay, you pay. In growth, in leverage, in options. In the NFL, clocks don't tick, they invoice. Every week a rookie quarterback doesn't play is a charge against development. Leverage and options. You can't buy back live reps. You can't simulate the speed of a disguised safety rotation in a meeting room. And you can't set a market for a player the league hasn't seen. Team side, uncertainty is expensive. The rookie window advantage only works if you confirm the rookie is the guy while his contract is cheap. Wait too long and you're shopping for free agents, extending veterans, and pushing cap into the years when you should be paying your centerpiece without knowing if he is your centerpiece. That's how timelines drift. That's how windows close without a sound. Player side, delayed snaps dilute future leverage. Agents build comps from tape, not hope. If Shedeur Sanders stays in bubble wrap, his second deal starts with question marks. If he plays and flashes, even in a controlled package, every snap becomes evidence. Evidence turns into leverage. Leverage turns into money, stability, and influence over the system you'll run. There's also trade math. Rumors suggest the Saints' interest rose because projection beats proof for risk takers. But even aggressive buyers pay more for verified traits on NFL film. 10 competent series can move a pick tier. A handful of intermediate rips on time can flip maybe into we're in. Cleveland either benefits from that valuation by keeping him and building around him, or by pricing him correctly if they ever pick up the phone. Mystery depresses both paths. The locker room feels the invoice too. Veterans calibrate belief to clarity. A predefined trial, 2 series, under center play action, boots, glance routes, signals intent. Activation without adoption reads like hesitation. And hesitation drains confidence faster than a sack fumble. Reports claim this week blended owner urgency, medical green lights, and analytic nudges. All arrows pointed the same direction. Collect information while the window is cheap. That isn't reckless. That's asset management. So the cost is real. Wait, and you pay in growth, cap planning, and locker room trust. Act, and you at least know what you're paying for. Which leaves the board with 3 obvious plays, each with a headline you'll feel by Monday. Path A, keep, activate, and actually use him. Headline, Cleveland stops hedging, Shedeur gets real snaps. What it signals, courage over comfort. Reports claim the install already includes an under-center play-action package. Roll it out with preset triggers. X empty drives, Y third and long failures. No explosives by halftime, and you've chosen clarity over noise. Upside, you collect hard data. If Shedeur flashes, the offense finds torque you've been missing. Locker room trust rises because the criteria were transparent. Risk? If it sputters, critics say the timing was forced. But you lose a quarter, not a season. And you gain information you can use on Monday. Path B, trade him to New Orleans. Headline, Saints bet big, Browns reset the timeline. What it signals? Asset optimization now. You accept the rookie window tax. And demand picks plus conditions that escalate with playing time and wins. You also avoid an off-season bidding war. Upside, immediate capital to reinforce the roster. Clears the QB logjam and narrative. If you don't believe you'll play him soon, you monetize the mystery at a peak rumor moment. Risk, if he pops in a dome with a timing offense, you'll wear it for years. The return must be rich enough to survive that headline. Path C, status quo. Activate without adoption. Headline, Cleveland rides the fence. Faith tested again. What it signals? Process as cover. Activation without a defined series reads like stalling in a pressure week. Upside, you protect the current plan's rhythm. No mid-game shock to pecking order. Risk, most expensive option long-term. You pay in development, valuation, and locker room belief. The noise becomes the story, and the rookie window keeps shrinking. This isn't a right or wrong quiz. It's a priorities test. Do you protect the floor, cash the chip, or chase a ceiling that could change the season's math? Only one of those choices gives you clarity fast, and clarity is the currency you're short on. Before kickoff, the tells will surface. Rep splits, Saturday activations, beat reporters' language, inactives. Each is a breadcrumb toward the real plan. If this story is gonna break, the smoke will show early. Start with reps. Beat writers will note who takes first-team snaps in Friday's red zone and 2-minute installs. If Shedeur Sanders is getting center exchanges with the starting line in team periods, not just 7-on-7, that's a tell. So is the language shift. Hour by hour is hedging. Full go, he's up, or we've got a package are green lights. Reports claim those phrasing tweaks often hit the podium a day before the depth chart does. Roster moves are louder than quotes. Watch Saturday transactions. A practice squad elevation of a speed WR or a blocking tight end screams under center play action intent. If a third quarterback gets elevated, it can cut both ways. Insurance for a switch or camouflage for a quiet status quo. The inactives list settles it. If Shedeur is listed as QB2, he's live. If he's emergency only, that's a stall. Pre-game routine offers free clues. Who throws first with the ones? Who runs the keepers in positional warm-ups? Does the QB coach hover over Sanders with the tablet while Tommy Rees huddles nearby? It's been said, pre-kick sequencing gives away the script more than any presser. Scheme tells matter. If the opening calls lean under center, heavier personnel, 12-13, hard play fakes, and early boots, that's the menu insiders linked to a potential Sanders package. If the Browns live in shotgun quick game from snap 1, you're looking at the familiar plan and a higher bar to trigger change. Cap breadcrumbs can pop late. A small restructure, void years added, or guaranteed salary conversion on Saturday night can hint that a front office is clearing future flexibility, either for a trade that didn't land or for an in-season pivot they expect to stick. And then there's the reporter dialect. Barring a setback is code for ready. Game time decision often isn't. If the national guys suddenly align on tone, the building has settled on a direction. None of these signals prove the ending. They narrow the options. By kickoff, you'll know if Cleveland chose clarity or cover, long before the first 3rd and 9 decides it for them. Strip the noise, and the picture sharpens. Reports claim the Saints flashed a $21 million golden ticket to pry Shedeur Sanders loose. The figure grabbed headlines. The mechanics are what matter. In reality, that kind of move looks like picks, cap strategy, and a path to guarantees, not briefcases of cash. Still, the message landed. New Orleans believes there's a franchise QB to unlock, and they're willing to pay today's price for tomorrow's certainty. Cleveland's choice reveals its identity. Keep him, activate him, reassembled, and actually use him. Then you're choosing clarity over comfort. Trade him and you'd better demand a rookie window premium. Day 2 capital plus conditions that escalate with snaps and wins. Because you'll live with that headline for years if he pops in a dome. Stall again and the hidden costs compound. Development pauses. Valuation fogs. Locker room trust thins. The window keeps shrinking while the season asks for answers. Rumors suggest ownership urgency, medical green lights, and analytic nudges all pointed one way. Collect information now. A defined package isn't panic, it's process. 2 series, under center play action, boots, glance shots, 1 tempo drive. If Shedeur flashes, you've found torque the current plan can't manufacture. If he doesn't, you've priced risk before free agency and draft boards lock. Either way, you stop paying the tax on indecision. Watch the tells. Rep splits with the ones. Saturday activations. Inactives. The podium language shift from hour by hour to full go. Those breadcrumbs usually hit before the depth chart does. If Sanders is QB2 and the early script leans heavier, under center with hard play fakes, you'll know the building chose a ceiling, not just a floor. This deadline drama isn't only